All right, well, good morning, Scions. Guys, it is holiday in the States today, and you've already gotten a video from me this morning, but I just got, about an hour before this was recorded, I just got notice that we had a quick early leak to the patch notes. So you're getting my live reaction because, let's be honest, the kids are running around, the wife is getting some stuff ready, and we got plans today. So patch notes for Wave 3. First off, I will say we got a specific message from Simon himself that Fafnir is going to be limited to 500 turns for Wave 3. So this means that while there may be some unlimited comps out there that may mean that your team will never die, we will only be able to play up until 500 turns. What this tells me, guys, is that based off of how Fafnir is designed, he is a dungeon boss. He is not ultra, specifically created to allow for unkillables or anything like that because he's not a clan boss. And so they don't want to make him like some crazy tweaked boss because he's just for dungeons. So 500 turns, boom, you're done. Try to maximize damage in all those turns. But patch notes, final alpha wave awaits. Over the past few weeks, Science have faced many challenges in the caverns and now descend one last time. Guys, that's right. This is the end of alpha. Oh, our final wave is here. We have a number of updates. Feedback provided by the community has been essential. So let's look. Bleeds, Blaze, and more. Bleeds have been in the alpha since Science first entered. This update introduces changes to both visual experience and to its core functionality. Okay, bleed will correctly show the number of active bleeds. Hallelujah. It was only ever showing one stack. And so I'm really glad that that's going to hopefully just show from 1 to 10 and be able to do that. And so have bug fixed the core issue, allowing more than 10 bleeds to be placed. Oh, skip something. Now bleed will correctly show the number of active bleeds and we'll have bug fix the core issue. Okay, gotcha. So only 10 stacks and it will show how many stacks is actively being placed. Great. I mean, this was broken. It's good for them to limit that. Heroes such as Achilles can now remove the bleeds to unlock the powerful damage upgrades. That's also great. I don't know if there was only an issue with Achilles. Dracula never seemed to do as much damage as I thought he should. I don't know if this will also apply to him, but really glad to see that they're fixing some issues with bleeds. Okay, all bosses held a passive reduce incoming damage from debuffs, such as Bleed, Blaze, and Acid. They were expected to deal 25% of the original, when in reality they were dealing 100%. Okay. This passive will now be active. So make sure to check for straight. Okay, yeah. So all those damage over time, the dot effects, they're actually going to really be significantly decreased in the next coming wave. So get ready for that. Generators, weapons, divinity balance, one of the key discoveries in Alpha 2. It's the ability to generate significant amount of divinity leading to unintended gameplay experiences. You've taken the steps to rebalance the number of divinity ultimate generators. Okay, these would in some cases generate from actions by heroes outside of their turn, such as if an ally received a buff. Now, generators will be focused on the hero requiring them to perform the action to earn the divinity. So in other words, instead of allowing other things happening on the team, or ultimates or whatnot that are enabling these divinity boosters to occur. So let's say that, a hero would gain 50 divinity every single time a buff was like put on or maybe taken off, like Emotep is a great example of this. He would gain divinity whenever a buff expired, and at the end of a wave, all the buffs would expire and grant him a ton of divinity. So how I'm reading this is that a generator like that will be focused on the hero requirement, requiring them to perform the actions to earn the divinity. So I would imagine like something like Emotep would be adjusted, other things around like applying buffs, perhaps around Aphrodite as well, that might also be adjusted. A number of weapons could be stacked to create team-wide bonuses, leading to some imbalance. Okay, they receive a similar treatment, with many bonuses being adjusted to focus on actions by the hero wielding the weapon. Again, anything that's happening for a weapon, it's not allowing anything on the team to happen. It's the hero that holds that weapon. They have to take that action for that weapon to be increasing their effect. Also taking steps to update several weak weapons to provide more options to players. That's great. Guys, I put out a video this morning on the weapons in alpha, so go check that out. I'll leave it in the description. List is extensive, so make sure to check out the weapons and heroes to start your descent. I mean, here's the general thing, guys. They're keeping these notes general. I think we're going to see a lot more details when it comes to live game, but there's just so many little adjustments that they are keeping it pretty just Pretty simple in what they're giving us and allowing us to go into the game and actually see what changes there are. New and updated features, bleeds display their stacks, bleeds correctly remove, perfect, Achilles and Dracula, fantastic. So this actually might make Dracula a little bit better. Update rebalance weapons, Divinity Ultimate Generators, add a count to the hero roster. This is great, guys. In the alpha, when you're farming for heroes, if you reach your max roster amount, they're just going to put them into your imprint library and you'll lose that hero. So now you can actually see, instead of just wait for it to tell you how many you have left, hey, I only have 5 heroes left. I need to burn a bunch and so that I can farm again. So that's great. Added wave, turn, and battle time to the battle experience. This is fantastic. Some players really struggle to know what wave they're on, 1, 2, or 3. Turn is great, especially for Fafnir, who's going to have 500 turns. And some of the challenges also enabling us to know if we can face that challenge or not, even getting close. And then battle time. We only see that till the end. So being able to see that in live is going to be great. All right, here's a big change, guys. Dagonet passive was huge in Wave 2, and it looks like they've completely changed it. So he had a 50% chance to join the attack when attacking an enemy below 50%. And I know my mic's good and cancels out a lot of noise, but if you hear some screams in the background, it's my 1-year-old just going ham with some of her toys. So apologize for that if you hear it. But anyway, the previous 50% chance to join attack when attacking an enemy below 50% now has a 50% chance to increase turn meter by 5% when placing a debuff. This is a massive change. It goes alongside Dagonet, who places the decreased defense, but basically this whole mechanic and how valuable his passive is completely altered in the meta. So now he won't be that go-to passive. If I can think about, I mean, this is going to be great for your for all of your heroes that are placing debuffs. So people like Dagonet, I mean, that'd be great. Anybody like Dagonet, I think this could be great for like Odin and even those heroes who place, you know, the damage over time, the dot abilities, like Hercules, for example, who places a dot, has a option of placing poison. This could increase his turn meter when he places those. Again, this is 50% chance, but a 5% turn meter is still really helpful. And when it comes to dealing maximum damage on a Fafnir for 500 turns, I think any percent chance of placing a debuff and then having that increased turn meter could be helpful. Shamash now places shield on overhealing on his ultimate instead of barrier. Well, barrier stacks, shield doesn't. And that's why they're changing this. Because if you make your team basically unable to die, he's just going to continue to stack barrier every single time. Fafnir ignores Immortal in addition to shields, barriers, and wards after he casts 20 ultimates. I think they tried to instill this in Wave 2 and it just wasn't working. So it looks like they have it working. 151 now ends after 500 turns when taking place in battle. That's what I mentioned at the very beginning. And Fafnir and Golden Guardian stats at higher stages have been increased. Yeah, guys, you'll see. I have a video coming out later this week on Fafnir, so keep an eye out for that on how to defeat him when you get into Wave 3. And yeah, at 150, it's going to be a challenge. It really is. So just be aware of that, watch that content, and be ready. Economy updates, interesting. Increase the drop rate of epic heroes at stage 6. This is great. We've been talking so much about the fact that that mid game of needing epics is just completely lost in the waves of alpha because we get so quickly from stage to stage. So starting at wave 60, stage 60, you're going to be able to get more epics and maybe begin to build those for your account, and they'll actually have a time and opportunity to use epics, which is great. Increase better quality armors, 60 plus. Thank you. This was happening, I think, after 120 in wave 2, and so this will be able to get better armor earlier. Updated the guaranteed epic and legendary heroes 20 and 30. That's probably just going to be a new pool of heroes for those levels. Added in an eternal only farming at stage 125 for alchemy stones. This is great. Eternal alchemy stones are so hard to get, and so being able to farm those on 125 is going to be fantastic. Make a note of this, guys. For all of your legendary eternals, for all your epic eternals, it's going to be great to be able to have that. Okay, bug fixes. Guys, it's been a whirlwind. Stay with me here. I'm going to go through these and see what they have. Fix several issues related to hero AI behavior. I doubt this is going to adjust their use of ultimates when there's one hero left, or even their AoEs when there's one hero left, enemy left. But if they could change that now before we get to live, that'd be awesome. Expect that for live, but don't expect that for alpha. Number of issues causing challenges stage not grant rewards. Perfect. Related to using ultimates on star challenges. Okay, so those are probably the ones where you need to use them like 9 or 7 or 15 times. Several issues with armor set bonuses, causing Shishi to place barrier on all allies. Okay. Yeah, this might actually be a huge game changer. Shishi was a absolute goat when it came to surviving Fafnir and Golden Guardian. So this change might actually completely change how he functions. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for that also in my content on Fafnir coming up this week. Issue with shields and barriers generated at quantities greater than designed. Yep. Bosses would not reduce damage. Yeah, we already mentioned that. Skip a turn after selecting imprints or passives in battle. Interesting. I never experienced that. Localization. Okay. Cause promotion events to fail if a player's gold value was in specific range. Yep. That was a huge issue. Causing a leaderboard to not show progress. Yeah, this is also huge. I was never even on the leaderboard for the majority of Wave 2, and so I'll be glad to have that fixed. So guys, this is it. These are the patch notes. Get ready for Wave 3. Like and subscribe to stay ahead of the meta and what's all going on here. If you're also looking for a great community of gamers, also subscribe, because that is what I'm here for. That is what I'm building. So let me know down in the comments below what you think about these things. Do you think that these are good changes? Do you think that they are reacting too harshly to some things, or do you think this is a proper balance? And guys, don't forget, I live stream on Wednesday all day long. So I hope to see you there. And if you've enjoyed this content, make sure and check the video that's popping up right here on the screen, and I'll see you in the next one.